week has made things clearer, and now we can see the 11 teams that they're fighting for their spot in the play-in and in general the playoffs. So we had a couple of teams that they came out undefeated in this double round week, and they improved their position in the table. So we had Real, of course, that is on the top, winning both games, and also we had Monaco, Barcelona, and Olympiacos doing a good job and improving their positions. Barca has remained at the second spot. However, I would say that Barca has a quite tough schedule ahead, so it may has, although it seems a little bit comfortable for some time now in the second position, I believe it may be a little bit more difficult for them to keep that position with the schedule they have ahead. But in any case, these teams seem to be, the favorites for the big fight, and I think they all equally have opportunity to be in the playoffs by the end of the regular season. However, we had another team that is fighting to get into these play-in spots. So Zalgiris managed to come out undefeated for these two rounds, but they are still 3 wins away from the 10th position. The same applies to Efes, Bayern, and Borja Armani, Cervena, Zvezda. So they do, all of these teams, they do have a disadvantage, not because of that difference only, but also because it is at least 3-4 teams that they are so far away. So mathematically they still have chances, but it's starting to be very difficult for this team. And if personally, I think it's gonna be very low chances they actually make it. But anything can happen really, and we've seen last year Milan trying towards the end of the regular season to catch up, and they were winning game after game, but then in the end they didn't make it. So who knows? Everything is still open.
Everything is still open, as you say, Bill. But also, I have to agree that the schedule for some of the teams is very tough. Like, even if you said, for example, Barcelona, they are at the second spot at the moment, but even their home games are tough because they expect Monaco and Partizan to play at home. So you see how difficult it is even for the top teams or the teams that are in the top standings at the moment, how difficult it is for them to stay, in these positions. Imagine how tougher it is if you are, for example, battling to go to the play-in tournament because you feel more pressure. Even if it's a home game, you feel more pressure because you have to win. This must-win games, and they are coming because we played already 25 games, into the season. So now it's getting, it's like a deadline that's approaching. That if you want to make the play-in tournament, it's do or die games, even the home games.
Yeah, just 9 rounds of do or die games. So the best for us fans. So let's see what the next round has for us. So round 26.
So round 26, you see we have some nice games. For example, we have Anadolu Efes versus Maccabi, which is the opening game, let's say. And it's a crucial game for Efes, even though they're very low in the standings. Also for Maccabi, because they feel the pressure to get to the play-in tournament, or in a higher position. Same goes for Partizan. After, I believe, they lost both games in the double round week, so it's a must-win game for Partizan. Um, Same for Olympiacos. In the first round, Valencia beat Olympiacos at their home, uh, playing exceptional defense, and having Stefan Jovic in an amazing night. Um, so you see how crucial is going closer to the end.
Yeah,
Also
so
for
if Valencia wins in case of a tie, just a tie with Olympiacos, and Valencia will have the upper hand. Um, then if it's like multiple ties, then I think what they actually look at is the results between the teams that they are tied, and then the difference between them. But if it's just between them two, it would be very important this win, this game. So
yes,
whoever wins most probably has also the upper hand in terms of a tie. Right now, the teams Olympiacos is just win away from Valencia.
yes. Um, and also Olympia Milano versus Real Madrid. They have to win. Olympia Milano. Every game is a must win if they need to make the last push to get to the play-in tournament. And if we see the second day of round 26, we see, I believe, two very big games, which are Panathinaikos versus Fenerbahce. Two teams very close, battling for the fourth spot at the moment in the standings, and also Virtus versus Monaco. Monaco, what can I say from Mike James? I mean, so far, as we said in the previous shows, he's he shows why he is the MVP so far. Um, he has taken Monaco and lead the team to the standings and also to a W after a W. But now they're playing in Bologna, which is Virtus, a very good defensive team, but also the atmosphere at their home is amazing. I cannot count the games that the away team has an advantage, 5-10 points, but they manage to cover this difference and come on top and get the W. Um, of course, don't underestimate it. The Crvena Zvezda versus Zalgiris game. Zalgiris is on a good roll, and they have done some convincing wins the last weeks. Not just win by 1 point or 2 points, but convincing wins. Um,
This is gonna be a final. These teams are tied. As I was describing before, there are three wins away from the play-in tournament, and just two wins away from Partizan. That is at 11th spot. So this is a must-win for both of these teams. It's gonna be a very important and great game. I think it's gonna be a full arena probably.
I expect a loud arena, to be honest, for this game. A very, very loud arena. Um, and for the coach selections for round 26, um, the first choice is Coach Grimau from Barcelona. Barcelona is playing at home versus Alba Berlin. We expect that Barcelona will win this game. Uh, we don't know yet, but maybe Ricky Rubio will not play, but we don't know. I'm saying will not play because he's absent for some months now, so he needs to get up in terms of stamina. But a huge signing. It's nice to see Ricky back on the courts and also in Euroleague. So if I will have to say that he made the first steps wearing Badalona's shirt. I still remember him when he was a rookie. So it will be nice to see him back. So Coach Grimau is the first option. Then we have Coach Ivanovic, Dusko Ivanovic from Baskonia. Baskonia is playing the first day versus Asvel. Baskonia is one of the teams that they need to win for the playing tournament and also get higher in the standings. So we expect them to get the W. And lastly, the third coach is Željko Brodovic from Partizan. Um, Partizan is not having the best period at the moment. They also lost versus Split at home in ABA League. Um, but there is a time that you have to turn everything and start get W's. And this is a great opportunity for Partizan to get a W with a full arena as well, and in a must-win game for them.
For them, but also Bayern is probably playing their last chances on this game, so should be very competitive. But as you said, the arena should be the extra player for Partizan.
So these are the coaches that we recommend. And should we move on to our teams, Bill, or do you have anything to add?
Yes, let's move to our team. So AlleyOopDunks, we had a good double round week, not something exceptional, but a good one. So we made some small changes. So first of all, for codes, we are going with Grimau versus Berlin with 7.9, and then we changed Poirier to Nibor. So we really need to thank Poirier for his amazing contribution the last couple of games. He is really high flyer, but I think it's time for us to play it safe. And Nebo should have, a preferable matchup playing in Istanbul versus not in Istanbul. Sorry, I don't remember where they're playing. So I'm not sure
Maccabi,
whether.
Maccabi,
Yeah,
Maccabi
yeah.
is
So
playing versus FS away.
yeah, but we don't. Is it? Are they playing in Istanbul or are they using another
I
stadium
think
this time?
I think the game will be played in Latvia.
Yeah, yeah. So they're going in Baltics again. I think last time was in Lithuania, wasn't it?
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. With the other with Fener, right?
Hmm.
So, yeah, but so still, we think Nebo should find the ways, and we expect something good for him.
And also let me add for Poirier to what you said. Potentially, we don't know yet,
The
100%.
Barca.
Tavares will be back as well, so that will affect Poirier's playing time as well.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Very good point. Um, and then our second center is Pradilla. With the credits available for him, is a solid choice. So we don't have any great expectations for him. As long as he can give anything to us, that's a win. And he actually had a great game, very productive game in ACB League. So let's see how it goes. Now, in terms of the other changes, we swap Wetzel, another player that we thank him for his contribution as he was been quite solid. We believe that Wetzel probably will still be a key for Alba, and potentially he will be productive and giving back a lot of fantasy points, because also Tiemann is not fully recovered. He just had, he took part, he was able to participate just in a part of the training. So most probably Wetzel would still take the minutes and get his usual contribution in both points and rebounds. We wanted though to go with Moneke, and not just that, we're giving him the captain duty. We were between him and Baldwin. Baldwin in the last game he gave us 60 points as captain, so he's a tough choice. But we're gonna risk with Moneke here. And finally, we swap Wilbekin for Abramovich, and that's one change that allow us to do quite a lot of stuff because Abramovich is just 5.7 credits and he had two double-digit games in the double round week. And as you can see in the last one, he actually scored 16 points in Italy. So he's also starting to getting back to normal minutes, 22, 24. So he's getting back to his role. So with 5.7 in a do or die game, we
At
think is
home
actually
as well.
we think it's actually like this credit is actually a steal. Now we'll see how he will play, but I think the valuation of 5.7 is actually very, very attractive. Um, Finally, the rest of the team remains as is, so we still have Marinkovic that he's been quite productive lately. You can see double round week with 17 and 16.5, and also score 16 points and 14 points respectively. And then we do have, of course, Mike James, Dinos Mitoglu, Adam Hanka, and Kalaitzakis for round two. All are on bench right now. We're gonna be in a dilemma between James and Mitoglu for captain in round two, but we hope we don't need to get into that, and that Moneke will really give everything for us.
Yeah. We also hope Mitoglu to get back to his usual standards. It was not a good double round week for Dinos, but if potentially Panathinaikos is missing Slukas, there are some rumors, not yet anything certain. He needs to step up in terms of scoring and also rebounds.
Yeah. So with that, I think we can move to our second team, the sidekick team. So
The preparation team. This is the preparation team. The deep value.
the deep value.
So as you see here, also to remind you, we have the rule that we cannot have the same players in both teams. So the first change we made, it was with coach Željko Brodovic instead of coach Kataš. We expect to win in Belgrade at home, and also if you see it's just 5.8 credits, so that gave us the opportunity to spend more credits for the players. Then we wanted to bring Colson instead of Musa. Colson did not have one of his standard good games versus Baskonia, but he is a key factor for Maccabi, and we expect that he will be back into the good performances in order for Maccabi to get a W, of course. Then also we brought in Ojeleye instead of Diallo. Ojeleye has the last 3-4 games. He's having good performances, very decent. As you see, actually, the last 4 games, he has 10 fantasy points versus Srena Zvezda in an away game. But if you see the rest, he is on an average of 15 to 17 points. So, as you see, he's grabbing rebounds, he's scoring, and he gets playing time. As you see, more or less 20 minutes. And in this game, in this do-or-die game for Valencia, we expect him to be a key factor for the team. Then we kept Shane Larkin. He had a good round versus Olympia Milano. 26.4 fantasy points. You know, after the fight versus Zalgiris, he needed this game. So we gave him also the captaincy because it's after the change also of the coach for FS, he is one of the players that needs to step up for the team. Then also you see some fillers, Edwin Jackson and Sergio Rodriguez to fill the guards in the team. We thank Campazzo for whatever he gave to this team. Yes, I have to say it like that. I know. It's in my opinion is now Real Madrid is playing not like full force, so Campazzo don't have to push it at the
Yeah.
moment. So that's why Campazzo is not the usual Campazzo. Of course, the quality of Campazzo is undeniable. But we wanted to bring Keenan Evans. He was amazing versus Panathinaikos in the last game for Zalgiris. 38.5 fantasy points. If you see 24 scoring 24 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals. I mean, what more to expect? Again, bouncing the same as Larkin, bouncing back from a bad game, let's say, versus FS with 6.6 fantasy points. But as you see, again, Keenan Evans this year, as you see, he might have some up and downs, but still, he's one of the top guards in the league, in Euroleague, one of the top guards, and is one of the names to keep an eye for the summer. I'm just gonna say like this. I'm not going into more rumors. You know,
Yeah. Huge name for the summer.
huge. Um, and then we kept Bolomboy and Fall. These are the centers that we kept. Fall, Yusufa Fall playing the first turn one, and Bolomboy turn two. Schneider is a filler playing turn two, and Diaz turn one again. He is a filler for this team. So captain for first day is Shane Larkin. If doesn't work well for any reason, then we have also Keenan Evans for the second day. Also,
We,
Boy
we
is an option
I
based
was
on
about to say we also thought about Colson for captain,
yeah,
but we both agree that Larkin, he's probably the coach on the floor, so yeah, he needs to get the the captain duty.
true. And he if FS needs the W, he needs to have one of his amazing performances on the court. So these are the changes we made. Anything to add, Bill, about deep value team?
No, all looks good. So let's hope we all have a great game. Remember, this is the last fixture before I think it's 2 weeks breaks for national cups and some more national events. So we're gonna be back as well the time the Euroleague restarts, and then it will be, I think, just 8 rounds left before the playoffs. So enjoy the game, guys, and see you later.
Yep. Enjoy the games, and we'll see you soon. Have fun.